Hello, ladies, and welcome to Simply Stacy, where the joy of the Lord is our strength. I'm sorry I didn't come on last week. I had the bug in a major way, and I'm still feeling it a little bit, but I thank God for healing. I thank God for going through last week. I tell you, last week was just a trip for me. But ladies, I just have something in my spirit. I want to get out here to my singles, to my single ladies. So many of you are so frustrated. I hear you. I feel you. I know it. You're frustrated. You're frustrated with the brothers. You're frustrated with it. You're frustrated with the lack of real men out here. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. You're frustrated with them. But ladies, we have to take responsibility for our part in the choices that we have made in our lives. Some of you keep making the same choice for the same brother. That's whether he's black, white, Chinese, I don't care what his color is. You keep picking the same wrong kind of dude. Why? Because somewhere there's a lack of understanding in you. You keep meeting these guys and women, we have this extra sense that we know that something is wrong. But instead we go with these checklists that we got. We go by different things that we see that, oh, he's right on paper. He looks good on paper. He looks good on paper. And he does certain things that are of good qualities of what you want in a man. But there's a sense in you that you know that something ain't right. But instead of you going with that, you go with your checklist. You go with little things that you see that he's showing you. Because I'm gonna tell you, babies, and I've learned this over time. People show you who they are. It's because we don't know the signs of dysfunction. We don't understand that this one little thing that we see that is a nag and that's getting on your nerves, you don't want to ponder on that because, like, well, all this is good. But see, that one little thing that you're seeing in there could be to the detriment, especially once you marry them. Ladies, I want you to stop being frustrated with life, frustrated with your life, frustrated with the guys that came in your life. A lot of them was little boys. A lot of us as females deal with little boys. And until you become a woman and mature in your thinking and mature in your actions, you're going to continue to draw little boys because you're not going to know what a real man looks like. At this point in my life, I know what a real man looks like. And he carries himself a certain way. He talks a certain way. He acts a certain way. That's just like us as women. There's certain things as a grown woman you would never do that you did as a little girl. You wouldn't even make the same choices now in this season of your life as a grown woman as you would as a young girl. There's a lot of women my age in their 50s that still have little girl traces and so frustrated with life because of the choices that you have made in the past. But you need to look within and look at yourself and say, let me make the right decisions for my life. Learn, learn, learn from your past mistakes. Don't continue to be frustrated with them. Learn from them. Ask yourself, why did you make that decision to go with that particular person? What was going on in your life at that time that you chose that person? Look within because so many of you're frustrated and you don't want to go through that mess no more. You don't want drama no more. You don't want a little boy no more. But if you don't learn the good and the evil, if you don't learn why you made those particular choices, you're going to repeat history again. Some of you already done it before, repeating history. So you don't want to repeat history no more. We only got a certain different time on this earth. So babies, get in your word. Learn what a godly man looks like. Learn what a godly woman looks like. So you can execute that out in your life. And when a godly man come along, you'll know. Or if an ungodly man come along, you'll know. And just because they're in the church building don't mean he's a godly man. Don't get it twisted. Just because you go into the place don't mean the place is in you. There's a lot of people in the seat. It's a lot of people in the place. It's a lot of people that can quote scriptures, but their life ain't lined up with it. So, babies, just coming out of the place of I understand your frustration. And ladies, yes, we catching on every side. But we have to begin with ourselves and take accountability for the choices that we have made. Take responsibility. You may not, even in your previous relationship, it may not have been, you may not have been the main culprit, but you chose them. So what was it about that particular person that you chose that person? It could have been just a lack of understanding. Like me, some of the choices that I made was because of the lack of understanding. And God said, because the lack of understanding, what did he say? His people perished. I perished because I didn't have understanding. Now, was it all my fault that I didn't have the understanding? No. But I'm in a place now that I can get the understanding so that I don't have to keep making wrong choices, that I don't have to keep perishing because of my lack of knowledge. Knowledge is out here everywhere. Get it, seek it for yourself. So that when you go out here and make these choices, it won't be because of the lack of knowledge that you get destroyed, that you wind up in the wrong types of relationships, that you wind up dealing with the wrong type of people. And go with that inner sense on the inside of you, ladies. That be it be your instinct, your instinct. The Holy Ghost, it be telling you, no, he's not the one. Leave him alone. Don't go with your fears. I don't want to be alone. I want somebody in my life. Well, he's everything on my list. Is he everything on God's list? Babies, I love you, and so does God. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. I just want to come and meet you where you're at right now because I know it's so many women that are frustrated and seeking all kinds of answers and buying all kinds of books and listening to all kinds of videos and doing. And I tell you, a lot of men is coming out with a lot of stuff because they know women are desperate. But we got to just listen to God. Get in your word and see what God says a man is. Who is a man? How does he act? A godly man with godly characteristics. And no, you can't make a man a man. You can't make him be what you want him to be. He has to already come like that. Do you hear me, ladies? He has to already be a man. You can't make him a man. Like we have to already be a woman. We have to already be a wife. That's why God tells the man, he that finds a wife, you already got to be a wife. You're not going to meet the man and become a wife. You're already wife material. When he gets you, you're already a wife. And that's how it's supposed to be with them. They should already be a husband. You can't get him and think that he's going to be a husband. You're going to whip him into shape to be a husband. That's why a lot of these men are kicking. Some of you don't got these men. They're not husbands. They don't even want to be married. They don't even want to be in a committed relationship. You're trying to make him be something that he's not. And he's steady kicking you. And you steady, it's just like breaking a horse, trying to break that wildness out of him. You trying to ride his back, trying to break him. No, that spirit has already got to be broken in him. You shouldn't have to go through all that stress. And that alleviates some of your frustration and some things that you won't have to go through with him, through these men, if you allow him to grow up and be the man that God designed him to be. So when you get him, he's already ready. Life will be so much easier, so much more peaceful. Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired? You should be tired. Some of you women have been through 50, 11 men, basically little boys. And you think the outcome is going to be different when you keep going out picking up the same joker, just in a different suit. Same thing, just in a different suit. Little twist to him. He might got a different kind of job. The other one might was a truck driver. This one might be a professional man. Just same thing, just a different suit. So, babies, just seek God. Seek God. Seek understanding so you won't be perishing. Seek God. Know what He says a godly man is and what He says a godly woman is. And be that. And seek that out. And when the man comes to you and approaches you, you'll be able to have something to measure him up against the Word of God. Not just because he goes to the church and sits in the chair and got on a suit. That don't mean nothing. Character. Don't worry about him having six figures. Don't worry about him having a nice car and a nice home. Character. Does he have the mind of Christ? Do he have the character of God? He cannot love you like Christ loved the church if he don't even have Christ in him, abiding and ruling and leading him. Christ is his head. Is he submitting to his head? If not, he's not going to love you like Christ loves the church. He's not going to lead you like Christ leads the church. He has to submit to his head, just like they want us to submit to them. Don't submit to somebody that's not submitting to Christ. You're always going to end up in the ditch. How can the blind lead the blind except they go in the ditch? You blind, he blind, in the ditch. Lack of knowledge, perish. So, baby, you want somebody that's seeking God, that's submitting to Christ, so that he can be your king and be your leader, be the prophet of your house. Won't bring you stress, but be at peace and be rest. Babies, I love you, and so does God. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. Smooth the sugar woogers.